Well, thank you so much for being here and allowing me to speak on behalf of Senator Rubio today. And thank you so much for all that you all do to protect life in the state of Iowa. I can tell you as a state legislator, your prayers and your support are very much appreciated and very much needed as we do our work here down at the Capitol. As we move on through this campaign, about 3 months ago I decided to take a position as the state chair for Senator Rubio. And briefly today, I'd just like to talk about two things going on in this campaign. First of all, I want to talk about why I support Senator Rubio. And second of all, I want to talk about some of his long-held and deeply held positions on protecting life in his career. I signed on as his state chair for several reasons, but I just want to share a couple, if I may, here today. First of all, he's a great man. He's a great man. I've got to know him as a genuine person, honest and trustworthy, and most important to me, as a father of 3 young kids myself, he's a great family man. Every chance he gets, he's talking about his kids, he's with his kids. I'm proud that his kids will be on the campaign trail with us soon in Iowa. He's a great man, and it's important that we put a great man in the White House, a great, solid man. Second of all, he has a vision for the future of the country. You know, someone once said, small minds talk about people, average minds talk about events, and great minds talk about ideas. There is nobody on the trail right now talking about a bigger, bolder vision for the future of this country to create a new American century than Marco Rubio. And I'm proud to be a part of a campaign that doesn't get into battles between each other. We're talking about the future of this country. Third of all, number 3, he's a great conservative. And there are certainly other great conservatives in this race. There's no doubt about it. But he is one of them. He has a long record from his time in the Florida House to Speaker of the Florida House to the U.S. Senate and now on the campaign trail of being a great conservative. 100% ranking with Americans for Prosperity. A 100% ranking with National Right to Life. He is a great conservative. But beyond that, we can't just have someone that has a good record. We need someone that can communicate our values to the nation if we're ever going to accomplish anything. If we're ever going to win another national election, we need someone that can communicate our values. I honestly believe that the American people are on our side. We have just not done a good enough job communicating our principles over the last few elections. Once we get in office, once we win the White House, if we are ever going to accomplish our goals, our ideas, our vision for the future, we need someone that can sell it not only to Congress, but to the entire nation. There is no doubt that Marco Rubio can do that. He is the most articulate messenger in the conservative movement today in America. And then finally, he can win. He can win this election. If you look at all the swing states, the states that are going to decide this, he can win. He is leading Hillary Clinton in all those. And I cannot wait for a matchup between a leader from yesterday with ideas from yesterday versus a young, fresh-faced leader with new ideas for a new American century. We will win that race all day. I guarantee it. Now, did anyone see the debate last week? I'm hoping all of you saw it. I want to talk briefly about what happened in that debate. The moderators asked Marco a question. I think they were trying to play gotcha with him on life. They were trying to trip him up and get him to say something he didn't want to say. And he looked that moderator in the eye. He looked 24 million people in the eye through the camera, and he did not flinch when saying life begins at conception. There's no doubt about it. And I want to read a quote. I want to read a quote from Marco in that debate, speaking to 24 million Americans about life. He said, quote, "We need to pass a law in this country that says all human life at every stage of development is worthy of protection. In fact, I think that law already exists. It's called the Constitution of the United States." He went on to say, "I believe every single human being is entitled to the protection of our laws, whether they can vote or not, whether they can speak or not, whether they can hire a lawyer or not, whether they have a birth certificate or not. And I think future generations will look back on the history of this country and call us barbarians for murdering millions of babies who we never gave a chance to live." You know, our Declaration of Independence promises us 3 things. They promise life, they promise liberty, and they promise the pursuit of happiness. But without life, there is no liberty, and there is no happiness. That's why this fight is so important. And I want to thank Joni if she's still here, Senator Ertz if she's still here. Thank you for your leading the charge in Washington. Marco was very happy and proud to support you in defunding Planned Parenthood. In closing here, thank you, Joni. In closing here, I just want to say I'm proud to support a pro-life candidate. And we need someone in the White House that stands for us, and there is no doubt. Marco made it clear in that debate, he stands with us. In closing, a lot of people have said Marco Rubio is the future of the Republican Party. They've been saying it for 6 years. I agree with them. That future is now. Please join us on this campaign. Thank you and God bless.